Great question. What is digital transformation? Well, I've only very recently worked this out, and I've been doing CRM implementations for a long time now. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what it is in layman's terms. I keep it as simple as possible, more for my sake than yours. So to start with, I'm going to give a very basic analogy, something I believe everyone will be able to relate to. So I'm sure you've all been shopping, right? And when you go shopping, you write a shopping list, traditionally, sometimes anyway. I have been using a pen and paper to write notes about things that I need to do, whether that be business related activities, personal related activities, maybe even a shopping list from time to time. Now, very, very recently, I decided I needed to give up the pen and paper. Sad times, right? The reason being is because I was losing the things that I was trying to keep track of. I couldn't communicate very easily with other people that I needed to delegate tasks to. It was costing me a lot of time, confusion. I was forgetting things, etc. So I very recently realized it's time to give up the pen and paper. And as a result, I decided I need to find a task management solution, a software, a technology, a digital technology of some description. So I tested a few different options on the market and I found Todoist. Now, Todoist is amazing. It has saved me an enormous amount of time. I don't forget what tasks need to be done and when they're due. I can delegate tasks with ease, and I can even write additional notes on Todoist about the things that I need to do as tasks. And like I said, it saves me loads of time. It means I operate better. I'm more focused on what needs to be done. I know exactly where I am with everything. I know what's behind, I know what's overdue, what's delayed, what I've got coming up, etc. You can see all of the benefits of moving from a pen and a piece of paper over to a technology of some description. Well, that is a digital transformation. Unfortunately, in this particular instance, that was a successful digital transformation. Now, the same applies for business, just on a much greater scale. As I'm sure you know, a business is just one enormous process, it is really a process, from new inquiry, whether that be inbound or outbound, all the way to project completed. So the work is done, the engagement is over. And between the start and the end, 1,000,001 things need to happen. And we have the opportunity to use technology to make these processes better. So that within the macro processes, there are obviously micro processes, and those micro processes are managed by managers, naturally, right? So you've got sales managers, marketing managers, etc. They manage that particular process. Now we can implement technology, software of some description, to try and improve the way that process functions. As a great example, we might introduce a CRM system, a client relationship management system, to the sales and marketing department, so they can try and improve the way they manage their sales. So, as an example, previously they may have been using Excel spreadsheets. Things go missing, people kind of making it up how they want, making it work how they want. The data is not particularly accurate. There's no business required fields to ensure that the data that's necessary is actually tracked. There's a lack of visibility on reporting functionality. It slows things down. A lot of mistakes are being made. We then apply a technology of some description to that particular process in an attempt to improve it. That is what digital transformation is. Exactly the same as me going from my pen and paper. I digitally transformed to improve my task list and my task management to ensure that I'm on time by using a new type of technology. This is exactly the same thing for digital transformation within business. Again, let's say it's not marketing, let's say it's fulfillment or warehousing. You apply a warehousing solution, a technology of some description, to try and better and improve the way the warehousing function within your particular business works, whether that be improving the way stock management is handled, or QR codes and barcodes and sophisticated barcode systems, or implementing tablets for the workforce on the ground inside of the warehousing can easily select the products that they need for a particular order, and it guides them through the best route on the most efficient route around the warehouse for the particular products for that order and stuff like that. That is the implementation of technology in an attempt to digitally transform that business for the better. So hopefully that gives you a better understanding of what digital transformation is. It's literally just applying technology to a particular part of a business in order to make it better. That's it. Now, there are a number of areas or issues with digital transformation, and I think I simplified them to the absolute core basics. And I've got 3 points that I want to discuss that I think everyone should be aware of. There's obviously a lot more nuance, but these are the general things that you should be aware of with the digital transformation. So, first and foremost, business requirements. It's very easy to speak with developers and a team of people that just want to build a software or build a solution or just put a solution into a business when they don't necessarily understand the business requirements. What is that business actively trying to achieve? What are the problems that they are trying to solve? And what's the return on investment? Just like with my pen and paper, I've probably saved myself 10 hours a week. Okay, that's a return on investment. Not only that, I am more efficient with my time. So not necessarily saving time, but also better management of time. I also know what needs to be done and when. So a better quality of service for my clients, and also make sure I don't forget what's on my shopping list, right? Whereas when I had my pen and paper, it was easy to forget the things that I needed to get from the shops. Same principle. Understanding the business requirements is necessary. It's absolutely vital to ensure that a digital transformation is successful. Because if I'm just building a system for the sake of building a system because someone said they wanted a CRM system, well, what is the point if I don't know what the objective is? What's the goal? What's the business actually hoping to get from the engagement? So really defining the requirements, what you're trying to achieve, what a positive or successful engagement is going to look like, and why this is going to be a benefit for the business, both internally as an organization when thinking about digital transformation, but also when working with a team to implement this digital transformation. Everyone needs to be crystal clear on what you're looking to do. And quite often when there is a lack of clarity on what needs to be done, that's when these implementations, these digital transformations go astray, and things break down and the engagement is unsuccessful. So that's point number one. Point number two is people. Now, if I decided that my Todoist, from my pen and paper to Todoist, I didn't like because it didn't have the functionality that I wanted. I'm not really a big fan of it. I kind of like doing what I was doing before. I'm not a big fan of change. That's going to become a massive issue. And that would mean that I didn't move from my pen and paper to my Todoist, my new platform. Exactly the same with business. People like how they work already. You need to incentivize them to change. And that actually stems from point number one. If you've not built a solution that is going to enable the people that you want to use the system to do a better job than they currently are, or they can do their job with ease, or they have access to the data that they need with ease, or the reporting functionality that they need with ease, or it's going to save them time, effort, energy. You need to incentivize these people. And if it's not going to do any of these things, then you're not going to use the technology you are attempting to implement. It's very, very simple. You need to sell your team and your people on the technologies that you are implementing in the same way that you would sell a client on the product or service you are offering. You have to give them a reason to use the platform. Now, for me and Todoist, my new fancy task management system is very, very obvious because I could clearly see the benefits to me and my life and the life of the business. If there is not a clear-cut reason or multiple clear-cut reasons why this particular digital transformation is going to support a team, a particular role, then they're far less likely to do it. And the big one for when digital transformations fail is because people are not interested in what has been done and they half-heartedly use it and they give up after about 6 months. There's a lack of training. People don't really care for the system. And it falls apart, and all that money that you've invested in attempting to digitally transform a particular part of your business or a process or something else is completely gone to waste. So make sure, and this does, like I said, stem back to business requirements, understand why it's going to help the business and understand why it's going to help the people within the business, because people are the business. That's what an organization or a company is. So that's point number two. And then point number three is another common one, and slightly more unfortunate, but it's a lack of understanding of the software that they're actually implementing. Quite often, not loads, but we do see this every now and again. People use a software to try and solve a problem that the software is not designed to solve. A great example, this is just something that we've seen fairly recently, is a client using their QuickBooks system to do very complex stock management and warehousing, stuff like that. Complete catastrophe. It's not going to work. QuickBooks is a basic accountancy tool, and the requirement they had was complex stock management. If you try and plug a round hole with a square peg, you're going to have a lot of issues. So it's really important to select the software, or make sure you are selecting the right software for the problem you are trying to solve. And that's easier said than done, because the software salespeople, they're like sharks. blood in the water, they will not leave you alone. It's very easy to be led to believe that the software that person is selling is going to solve all of your problems. It's going to make the cups of tea, and it's going to do this and do that and do blah, 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 and everything else. The reality is that it doesn't, unfortunately, and it's very easy to get led to believe that that's going to be the case. So it requires a lot of education or independent advice on which software is going to be the most suitable platform for the business problem that you are trying to solve, whether it be CRM, ERP, warehousing solutions, finance solutions, or something entirely different. Just getting clarity on what works best. And within each of those brackets, let's take CRM, for example, there are hundreds of different products available on the market. And some products work better for other problems than these products work for these problems. So being educated on what's going to work and also seeking advice from other people about what solutions are going to be right for what you're struggling with is very, very important. So those are the big issues we typically see with digital transformations. The majority of them fail because of one of those three reasons. I would hate for you to be one of those people. Hopefully my analogy on a pen and paper and task management has given you an insight into what digital transformation actually is. It's a very general term. It's thrown about quite a lot. And actually getting to the bottom of what it means, which has taken me a while because there's a lot of jargon thrown around, but that's the reality of it. You're improving a process of some description with technology. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a successful transformation. It's really important to ensure that the transformations are as successful as possible. And you can do that by going through the 3 points that I mentioned. Clearly define business requirements, making sure the people use the system and they're happy with the system and it's ROI positive for them as individuals within the organization, and also making sure that the software that you're selecting is the right software for the problem that you're trying to solve. Hopefully this video has been helpful. If you need any help with your digital transformation, please check out the link below. I would be delighted to help. My team and I would be delighted to help to support you and your business with a digital transformation of one description or another. Check out the link below. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully it's been insightful, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.